Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 8th episode. Almost a 10, very exciting. And today we are going to be talking about our design process. Now, me and Astrid were talking earlier today, and we realized that we always show you like our final things, but we never show you our thought process and how we actually do it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So basically, I'm going to talk about my strategies for a minute or two, and then Ashley's going to tell us hers, and then we're going to basically create a little mini project, just quick to show you. And so yeah, we have our colored pencils out and we have our notebooks for drawing, and yeah, let's get started. So when I'm making a design, when my loom is empty, I usually go to my yarn stash and see what I have, just see my options. And I choose my favorite yarns, usually like 4 different yarns, and I narrow it down to 2. And then I, ask people like, which one do you like best? Do you like this one or do you like this one? And then based on what people say, I'll choose one. And yeah, so after that, on side what is this yarn best for? Should I make a scarf? Should I make dish towels? Or should I just make it yardage for bags, hairbands, like Astrid's wearing her wonderful hand-woven hairband today? Do I want to make a garment? All that stuff. So that is basically like the first step. And then after that, after I decide what I'm going to make, I go back to my yarn stash just to see what colors coordinate with the yarn I chose. And then from there, I'll go to my notebook and do some sketching and see and play around with like plaids or twills, which I just do for fun because can't do twills, but it's just fun to see. Playing around with graphics. I love to play around with color, so that's really fun. So that is usually how I do it. But also another thing that I like to do is build up my skills. So for example, if you have a rigid head loom and you want to do a garment, but you're thinking, oh no, I can't do a garment because I have a rigid head loom. That is not true. There have been plenty of people who have made garments on rigid head looms. It is just also a super quick and easy way to get into weaving for garments and things, because like Astrid said in her series of getting you into weaving, which we will link down below, she introduced us to rigid heddles, and it's just a really easy way to get into weaving. But like I said, you're thinking, I can't do it. No, it's not an rigid head loom. That is not true. Like I said, there are lots of people that make garments on rigid head looms. So like I said, build up your skills. Like if you have very wonky edges like me, practice getting your selvages a little bit straighter. Also, you might, if you want to use like finer thread yarn, you might want to practice using finer things and maybe even getting different reeds and playing around with the density yarn strands per inch, DPI, which is dense per inch, but basically how many threads there are in 1 inch. So yeah, that is usually my strategy of project planning. That is like basically is going to my stash, seeing what I have, and creating a plan and playing around with color and design and seeing what I want to make. And that is usually mine. So now Astrid will share hers.
Thanks, Kai. So I'm going to talk about my inspirations now. So for me, it's definitely about that initial inspiration. I love birds, everything birds related, the colors of birds, bird color palettes, all of that. This actually, the headband I'm wearing is based off a feather draft that I have a shawl that's based off a rooster, and so you get the theme. It's birds and bird colors. So I like to encourage those initial inspirations, whether you like historical weaving, traditional weaving, maybe you're into graphic design, maybe you just like playing with color, whatever you like to do and whatever loom you have, there's always a way to make it possible and to make that vision come true. So my 4 points. 1 is the initial inspiration. My second is the yarn. Now, when it comes to yarn, technically you should dig around in your stash because it's beneficial for your bank account. However, I cannot support that since I recently spent a lot of money in silk. Yeah, just a little habit of mine. So for your fabric, no matter what loom you have, I specifically have wide looms for because I like to do a lot of garment design and such. But like I was saying, if you have a rigid heddle, which I have actually a 3-part series on how to budget-friendly ways to get into weaving. But you can do things on smaller looms. I do have the smaller loom. It's a wolf pup, and it's only 18-inch weaving length. And that is a 4-shaft loom. But I made an outfit out of that was a tiered flounce dress. And that it's just a great way to do that. And you can still, that was based off of Blue Jay. You can play with color. You can do all kinds of things on your little looms. And now, in my opinion, and this should go for everything, your loom should be based off of the things you like to make. So it should already suit that, even if you have a smaller loom. So whatever your interests are, your supplies and your tools that are around you should base off of that. Okay. My final thing to say is garments, okay? I have a lot of screenshots of different birds and different patterns for things. And whatever your start idea is, that will most likely not be your end idea. At least for me, that's how it goes. You kind of,
me too. It's kind of like you have an idea and then it's like it comes out totally something different than you were not expecting. Sometimes you will be super satisfied with it and be like, wow, I never knew that this would happen. Or you're like, this is not what I was expecting.
So, but for me, okay, I'll just add notes to this. Whatever your initial idea, you base it off of that and you kind of escalate things to the point where you feel that they are going to be the best that it can be. It doesn't have to be that initial gut idea because that's the source of where it comes from. That's the root of every project, and everything comes from that root. If it doesn't have deep roots, then it won't sprout and become something beautiful. So,
yeah.
Any other notes, Kai, to add?
Nope.
So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for our 9th episode.
Yeah. So this is what we created today in today's episode. Ashley, would you like to show yours again?
Here you go.
So these are the 2 pieces that we created in today's episode. And I hope this helped you a little bit next time you go to your stash to choose a project. And we'll see you next time. Bye.